Welcome to Super Happy Dragon Lucky. The show will begin momentarily.
But why, some say, the moon? Why choose this as our goal? And they may well ask, why climb the highest mountain? Why, 35 years ago, fly the Atlantic? We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other thing. Not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best of our energies and skills. Because that challenge is one that we're willing to accept, one we are unwilling to postpone, and one we intend to win. We choose to go to the moon.
All right, everyone, welcome to Super Happy Dragon Lucky. This is episode 76. It is the 119th episode. That's over 2 years of Super Happy Dragon Lucky. Reminder, nothing on the show has ever been financial advice, nor will it be. So first update in number go up this week. This week on number go up, it is U.S. gas prices. I think it's pretty obvious to a lot of people what's been going on, and that number will probably continue to go up for a little bit. Then let's see here. Let's get to Dragonchain updates. Watch for a talk this week from Artemis Technology Group at the COP. I don't know if you call it COP26 or COP26, whatever it is. It's a climate change conference. We don't know when the talk is, but I don't know how fluid those schedules are or anything. Also, I think it's a pretty big conference, so just watch for it. Interesting stuff. Very, very good, interesting use of blockchains. Okay, next, be sure to get on Den.Social to see how we apply Dragonchain technology to the question of the social forum and how to deal with social media in the real world with trolls and with content and all types of other things that go on. It's a very, very interesting system, a very amazing, in my opinion, use case for and test for blockchain tech in the real world. So one way or another, something that we always we'd like people to know, and we haven't probably mentioned enough, is that if you are in the Dragon community, you should definitely be on there, because a lot of all of our announcements are moving there. Everything else is moving there. And if you held dragons, the Dragon token on December 1st, 2020, you can still come in and register an account, claim whatever address or addresses that you held Dragon in, and you will have lore 1-to-1 for however many dragons you had as a snapshot that you can use in all of the Lair creation processes that are going on. So really cool stuff. Go to Den.Social, check that out. Then we go to Den.Social updates. The first is Lair governance. So we've said this already. Work on Lair governance has started, and that's both back end and front end. There's a lot of things to do. We do have in the Den Gov. So if you go to the Den Governance 2021 Lair, you will see that there's a proposal on Lair governance mechanics, and basically it's getting down into the nitty-gritty details of how the whole system will work, how resolutions happen, how any configuration action by a holder of lot in the Lair will generate a governance issue that will be up for vote. And the resolution will happen in 2 weeks, or it'll happen when enough people vote on it. So really interesting stuff. We're still looking at any feedback that you might have there, and definitely votes. So, and there are a couple of places in there where people have asked, I think Dave, in fact, asked some specific questions that we did not spell out in this proposal. So I wrote the proposal up. So I missed a few things and I answered him. So go check those out. Let's see here. The vote. So if you have lots to vote on, that is due by tomorrow, November 10th at 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. So go check that out and vote if you can. The commitment phase is open for the November 2021 LCP, the Lair creation process. The commitment phase will end next Tuesday at 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific. That's November 16th. What you can do now is go to the LCP page. You can look at all the proposals that are in the lead. This month, I think we have a 1-in-1 again, where the top votes in LOR will be created and the top proposal by unique voters will be created. Last month, one proposal won both. This month, there are 22 new proposals, which is really good. That we had a lot, and some of them are actually very interesting and probably well needed. So anyway, that's everything. Go check that out. Go place your votes. Go ask everyone if any questions you might have, because each one of these links to the actual proposal. So something to mention, because we've been asked, we do intentionally throttle the number of layers created each month in order to give each layer the best opportunity for growth. It's something that we learned in our beta that was a useful, organic way to grow the community. And we might, it's up if Den governance wants more layers created per month. A lot of people have been calling for that. We can easily do that. It would be a Den governance vote, and we would basically open more up. So that's coming. Now we go to World Blockchain Roundtable updates. This week is episode 24 on blockchain and privacy. Go leave a topic or question on the weekly post. I think there are already some pretty good ones, but I didn't get to get all the way through them. And do vote, so you can basically decide what we cover. Try not to make them specific to Dragonchain, because we have people on there. The purpose of World Blockchain Roundtable is to get Dragonchain's input in a generic way on very typical discussion areas in this industry. And we will. Oh, it looks like it's episode 25. That was a mistake in my notes. So anyway, that one way or another, try to leave something that is a good topic. Now, by all means, tee something up for me to hit something for Dragonchain, but don't make it a specific Dragonchain question, because nobody else on the show will be able to really answer it. So, you know how that works. And last week's episode, please do go watch it. Share it anywhere you can, because the more votes, the more views that episode gets before the airing of this next episode, the more lot all of the participants will get. And one more thing to mention, I can't wait until we get Lair governance in place, because all of the people who have been participating to date will be able to help us decide how to change some of the shows. Like, say, I think there are a couple of needs for change, but I'm not going to propose them until we are able to all vote on those changes with the Lair governance system. So anyway, let's see here. Okay, so we'll come right back after this with the AMA. We get the top 3 questions.
Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best
Adaptable, all capital, label radical yet rational. A tactical approach is palpable. If this animal is fallible, but that conclusion is laughable. So with for all detachable from the mandible, you see it now.
All right. Now let's go to the AMA. Again, we get 3 questions every week, except for the first Tuesday of the month where we try to get all of them, or at least get through to the top of the hour. Okay, first question from Wafty Cranker. Can you give us an idea on what kind of response to a post is needed to gain matter? For example, if you're the first person to give a single energy vote to a post, and the post eventually accumulates 10,000 energy, you will acquire X amount of matter. I'm gaining matter, but the rate almost seems to be inverse to how much I'm actually engaging with posts. So the way you describe it is not the way it works. It's a little more complex than that, but you have to step back and think of it in terms of a competition. So inside a den, a single vote, whether it's up or down, and no matter how much energy you put on that content, is effectively a vote in the consensus process. So let's say that we had 20 people voting and 19 of them were up votes and 1 was a down vote. Okay. That content is in competition with other content, but the way that the competition is measured is based upon both your direction of vote and the amount of energy you put in. So effectively, the more energy you put in on a piece of content in the direction, when I say correct direction, is not necessarily correct. It's the direction that the community goes for consensus. So let's say they all think this is great content. It's all upvoted, and you vote down. You get nothing. You basically lost that prediction market contest because everybody else said, "Oh no, it's good." And if you only voted 1, but it ended up having 10,000 energy on it, you have to think about it that your 1 energy upvote is a proportion of that 10,000 that were applied. Now the time measure is like that is how early you put that energy in. Let's say you voted in the first hour and everyone else voted in the 10th hour. You are going to have, right now, I do believe the implementation is linear, that you will have a 10x weight on your 1 energy. And the other 10,000 that came in the 10th hour will have they'll have 1/10 what you do either way. And so that would mean that your 1 energy only accounts for 10 energy in comparison to the other 10,000, even if they were 10 hours later, right? So you have to think about it like that. And that's, basically 1/10. So the 10,000 would effectively be weighted as 1,000 compared to your 10. So you'd have a small amount. So it's kind of hard to explain. You can look in the white paper, but effectively it is the amount of energy you put in the correct direction for consensus. And this is only for the evaluation rewards. So this is upvote and downvote. So effectively, if you have enough matter and you're holding that matter and you gain a lot of energy, I will give you a tip right now that even a small amount, and I'm not saying like tiny, but something like putting 200 or 400 energy into a downvote that ends up being correct, that this is not great content, or it's totally in the wrong layer, or it's just literally bad content or lazy content, that I see pretty good returns by putting in even small amounts on the downvote, because I don't think enough other people are really people are downvoting, but typically people will downvote by 1 or something just to say, okay, that's not great content, but I don't really want to. They feel like maybe they're attacking them. Either way, there's a bunch of really interesting stuff in there, and we know it works because we've watched in a lot of the edge cases to see how people might be trying to game it. But no matter whether you put the energy down or up, it all counts as energy in a market, which is how, say, if you get a post that gets really high consensus, 90 or 100%, and it has a ton of energy in it, you're going to be competing well against all the other content. And that's the main point of it. So anyway, next question. I hope that was hard to answer that very well, but maybe we'll go through some detail in the future, maybe on Dave's show, on the coffee show, right? We can really demonstrate more. Okay, Aladita, sorry. What kind of specific requirements are needed to run L5 interchain node beside KYC? With interchain, can we choose any type of public chains to store hashes, or specific limitations come with the interchain patent? Is there any kind of time requirement to run L5? Any kind of fee structure to L5? The L5s for fee structure exactly the same as all the rest. In fact, Dragonchain only puts a million time where we could put a billion time and get a ton of the fees that come out. But we push that down so we're not unnecessarily competing. Let's see here. Yes, if you were, let's say that you were running a Bitcoin node. The reason that we don't have that open right now is it's frankly too expensive to do, and the reliability needs to really be there. So we haven't opened that up to just general community. They are both the Ethereum and the Bitcoin nodes are relatively expensive to run, both in CPU and in mostly in maintenance, making sure we keep up with any changes and updates and so on. So you have to consider all that. We do have a plan to federate a couple of items that run as DragonNet. That would both be the billing system, and there are a couple of technical pieces in there that we would consider to federate that. That was my original intention to use the Golden Jojo for. So it would be a particularly valuable piece that you would have to either have a proxied vote from someone with a Golden Jojo, or you would have to have one yourself to run those other more advanced parts of the network. And that, hopefully that will come sometime. And then the other is L5. We do already have it open that if anyone comes to us specifically with, hey, I want to run a Divi node, or I want to run some Bitcoin Cash node or something, that we would probably allow that as long as everything was vetted and we knew that it was going to be reliable enough to connect to the network. And then you could apply your own time there and have a really good percentage. So I believe I've mentioned that before somewhere. Hasn't really been widely mentioned, but no one's really ever asked. But that would be the great thing, because then people would be bringing in more variety to our proof system, which is what we want. So, and when you consider that, the interesting pieces would be any place that we could gain variety in the types of proof. That is, proof of work, strong on Bitcoin. Any other high hash power chains would be very valuable to us. Any other different algorithms, proof of stake or other unique algorithms, we would definitely consider having a Litecoin node as an example, because it's a very different type of proof of work than Bitcoin on purpose. And there's value to having the variety. So if anybody had any of those, you could bring those to us, and we would probably, we'd have to go through and make sure everything was sound, and we'd have to write the L5 integration code, but that's not really too bad. So we're open to it. Anyway, next and last, I guess, Sponsol. I have more 500 million time accumulated over 4 years. Awesome. I barely covered the server cost of $3, having made a very important investment. Please don't answer with I don't know, or it depends on adoption. So real quick, to note, and this has been noted before, I think by Dave and others in the community, that you don't have to have a $3 a month server cost. This is a bit like a tiny, you could spend 20, maybe 15 or $20 and get a Raspberry Pi and run this in your house, or run it on a server that's sitting idle. So saying, oh, I have my $3 cost, is like, well, we shrunk the footprint on this just so you wouldn't have to deal with that $3 cost a month if you wish. So anyway, we'll get to the question. And by the way, could I be honest? Is like, why am I answering your question? Could I be honest? Give me a break. about the estimated ROI for the next 6 to 12 months. That is, i.e., with adoption being closed in production development. I don't know what that means. What ROI can we node runners expect? Keep in mind opportunity cost. You want to mention opportunity cost of continuing to hold Dragon in this market is extreme, and we holders would like some clear answers. Okay, maybe you should have bought some SHIB. Okay, you would have been up. Maybe your 500 million times sacrifice going into SHIB would have been better for you. That's not my decision. Again, no investment advice here. That I cannot care about. I cannot calculate an ROI for things on our system, just like you cannot calculate whether what was the new one? One of the other new dog coins is going to be a good investment for you. No idea. That's up to you. And that might be I don't know answer, but to say, oh, I have to answer what is your ROI going to be in the next 6 to 12 months is notably stupid. Okay. There's no way I would ever say what your ROI is going to be, no matter if we knew, even if we had a massive new client that was going to pump a ton of new fees into the system, I still wouldn't be able to tell you what your ROI is. Okay. That is entirely up to you. And if it is not a good calculation for you, please drop the salt and exit the door. Okay. Because it's enough of this crap. If you want to be in the network, you're in the network. If you don't want to be, you don't have to be. It is up to you. Just like no one is going to get on your case for asking this question more than I have right now. Sorry. No one is going to care about your decision other than you. And it's entirely fine to do whatever you want to do. That's the whole damn point of it. That's why it's a standardized token, so that you can secure it as you wish, so you can use it as you wish. That's the point of it. And you can ask me stuff and we tell you everything we can. And it's a rough freaking world. And the amount of speculation that is going on that makes it an extreme opportunity cost is the fact that very speculative things that you might be considering separate are not actually doing anything. What is SHIB? What was SHIB for? What was it doing? Was it a big payment system that was going to take over the world? No, it was literally pump and dump. That's all it was. Everybody knows it. Go and play. If you want to be a trader, get out of here. Because that's not what we're here for, right? We're here to build stuff. We build stuff. It's not everything works perfectly. You have to be patient, but that again is up to you. You don't have to be patient, but just stop with this crap. Anyway, all right. I think there were a couple of answers below. Maybe I can cover it. Maybe not. Maybe not. There things might have been it. So. That's it. That's 3 questions. I think that's everything. So in closing, we have a merch special for this entire month and this month only, which is if you go to Dragonchain.store, okay, Dragonchain.store, and pick out any Den merch. And put in the code Den Merch Matters, as you can see on the screen. It'll be in the description also. You get, I don't know what the special is. It's not written in my notes. I have no idea what is off. Let's see here. It is 20%. 20% off of all Den. That should be in the notes. 20% off of all Den merch items with that code. So that's it. Watch us again next Tuesday. Do go buy Den merch and Dragonchain merch on the store, and make sure you watch the roundtable this week as well, and follow Dragonchain Real Denizens and Jojo Row on Twitter and elsewhere. Thanks so much.